Hi, my name is Liudas Butkus, and in this episode of Hodl, I want to do a review of Codex. It might be a little bit long because there's a lot to cover, but this ICO is definitely worth the time. So what is Codex? Well, they are targeting the arts and collectibles industry, and they are building two applications here. So the first application is Codex Viewer. So art, it brings its value from provenance. What is provenance? It is the line of owners right from the creator back to the asset owner. If you can prove the whole line and you have the documents to prove that, it means your asset is unique and it has its full value. But if you cannot prove the provenance, then maybe your asset is forged, not unique, maybe it's a fake out. So then it has zero value. So provenance is very important in the arts and collectibles industry. So they will be building an application on the Ethereum network where we can track every single asset, how the ownership of it changes. And the blockchain is the perfect fit for such application. Now, if you are thinking about scaling of Ethereum is not an issue over here because with arts and collectibles, the fees and scalability is not very important because there's not that many transactions, but the transactions have very high value. So it's a perfect fit in my opinion. So yeah, so how will this application benefit the people in the ecosystem? So firstly, the auctions houses, galleries and dealers will have easier job to tracking all the art. It will help people to buy more art and collectibles. For collectors and investors, it will be easier to look at the provenance documents, and they will be more likely to buy as well. For artists, estates and foundations, it will be easier for them to get their resale royalty payments. For asset-backed lenders, it will be easier for them to give quotes, to give out better, bigger loans, because it's easier to verify the provenance again. Insurers, storage and logistics, appraisers, museums, there will be many applications that can be built upon this protocol, and overall it will increase the value for all of them and make it much easier. So this is the first application. The second application is called Biddable, and what it does, it solves a problem in auctions for arts and collectibles, that there are people who bid on items but then they don't buy if they win. And auctions are currently fighting that with escrows, with identifying people by generating KYC, AML, and stuff like that. These procedures of identity, and there's a problem with other markets like Asia. People from Asia, they have a hard time to verifying their ID, and they usually can't participate in auctions in the States. So with Biddable, you are able to use cryptocurrencies to buy art and collectibles, and they also solve the problem with locking up a portion of the funds. And if you are a winner and you don't buy, the percentage of the value is locked up and you cannot get it back. So if you are a malicious auction user, you will get penalized like this. And overall, this is a pretty good application that solves a lot of problems for the auctions. So all that said and done, you might say, yeah, that's a cool idea, but is it going to have any traction? Will they be able to generate their first auctions to use this? Is it really going to be used by anyone? So firstly, let's look at the market. So the market in 2016 of arts and collectibles were 1.6 trillion. So, okay, it's a really big market, and it is projected to grow up to 2.7 trillion in 2026. Well, inflation and stuff, I guess. But yeah, all jokes aside, it is a huge industry. But again, what does it tell us? Well, basically nothing, because if no one's using it, we can't get a share of this market. So, but Codex Protocol is already in partnership with two major auctions, uh, which is Live Auctioneers and Auction Mobility, that make up to 6 billion in annual sales, and they also sell 10 million items per year in 50 countries. So this is a massive part. These are massive partnerships, and they have already agreed to use the Codex Protocol and the Biddable applications in their auctions for making sales. So basically, the best place to register the provenance of an item into the blockchain is through an auction, because at one point or another, the person who is holding art, he will need to show the provenance, because in other words, you won't be able to sell it in the auction. So it will have to go through this procedure, and once it's done, it's a really good idea to register it in the blockchain and to then store it. So this is, and once someone decides to sell their art to resell to some other person, he will be incentivized to keep the record straight, to have it synchronized by getting rewarded for that in the ecosystem. So this is the main idea how it works. So yeah, what next I want to go through is through my spreadsheet. So I am doing the ratings, so the ICO will start in the end of July. And let's quickly go through my rating. So for the idea, I gave it 9 points. I think there are some tweaks to the idea that could be made. So I gave it 9 points, but it's a really good idea. The team have a lot of great people. So the founder is from Harvard. They have people from Oxford, people that worked in Microsoft, and the advisors have a lot of experience with art and collectibles from investors and stuff like that. So I gave them 9 points. The lowest rating is for the community. They only have 6,000 people on Telegram, and this is the place where they should improve, in my opinion. They still have a month until their ICO. The tokenomics, well, they are giving away 24% bonus, which is not too bad. The hard cap is 25 million, and the token costs 67 cents, but they are only selling 40% of the tokens, which is on the lower end. So I gave them 8 points for the tokenomics, and I gave them 5 bonus points because they have an MVP and they have the companies that have already partnered up and are going to be using their product. So this is, in my opinion, a really good ICO, and the rating is 73%. And if they grow their community, I think they can definitely go to the green and reach 80 or more percent. So in my opinion, this is a really good ICO. I will be following it, how it grows on their development. And yeah, to check it out, go to codexprotocol.com. And this is it for this video. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.